I'm going to talk about the IntelliSkin shirt. No, this is not it. This is the IntelliSkin shirt. Dr. Goodman had a little video on it. Um, Needs some likes. There we go. There's a like. Um, Good things to say about it. It's just a lot of people to get it. We're doing foundation training, and I'm more open to embracing the idea of something that's supportive. The biggest fear we have with any type of bracing is we're going to create a weakness. Tendencies to rely upon this thing because it's supporting a weak structure, which is unfortunately in all of our lives is the spine. And there's areas of restriction in our spine, and there's areas of even strength in our spine. And it's a little different for everyone, but there's definitely a lot of areas of weakness. Sometimes the most strength we have is coupled by the yin-yang idea of where the weakness is. And we see that in different areas. It could be the pelvis, it could be the shoulders. So it's hard to say what is the best course of action for you. Most people, I do see we do have the rounded forward shoulders, kind of like what this guy's going on. Most of you don't do this, right? You're aware, oh, okay, I have to have better posture. So I don't see too much of this. There is some people that take this form, take this posture. But most people actually come in with this kind of idea already. They're already thinking that I need to open up my chest and lean back. And this guy, he's not too bad. A lot of you I see like you're excessively compressing too much, where you're taking those shoulders and you're pushing them way behind the hips where they should be, because we generally want this area, which is your AC joint, acromioclavicular, where the clavicle comes in to the shoulder joint, in line with the femur here, which is hard to see with his pants, but we can see that they're not in line with each other. So his hips are going to be out into the arches. So we have a broken foundation. So we're fixing one area, we're not fixing the other one. Yeah, he looks good because no one's looking at the hips, so we can. And that's why probably they don't even show his feet, show that we're not fixing this issue. Because everyone's like, oh yeah, look at what he's doing. It's amazing. But the foundation is very important. But on the other hand, on the flip side of the coin, we have a lot of restriction, and we have a lot of weakness, and we have a lot of muscle, because now you're not only are you fighting against trying to use these weaker muscles to get you to the right position, but you're also fighting against that other muscle that's pulling you away. So it's like trying to use a weak muscle to pull against something that's very strong, and you also have joint restrictions, which are very strong. So you're fighting against those two things. So any help you can get is probably good. So I will suggest getting something like this IntelliSkin shirt, which is really expensive, but I might get one, try it out for you. I still think the best support for your spine is actually your own muscles. You have to learn to use them. But something like this has a couple benefits. A, it's just going to remind you to have better posture, but right, you have to think about it correctly. You can't be thinking about, oh, think about it wrong. You're like most of you do, like I just said, explained, you don't. And I used to do this, is we just lean back. We're just leaning back. We're not actually getting taller. We're not actually lengthening. We're just leaning back. And so we're taking that rounded posture. We're just pushing our hips forward. It's not actually changing. I'm not actually doing anything here. I'm just leaning back. I'm not actually opening up. I'm not actually lengthening. That's the issue we see. We need to be using those multifidus muscles, the rectus muscles, and the flexor muscles to help lengthen us, pry the spine apart. Because that's the only way, not just leaning back. But having something to help support and eliminate half the problem can help you focus on and engage in the area that you need to be focusing on, which is the foundation, your pelvis, those iliopsoas muscles. So it's getting rid of some of that rounding, it's getting rid of those pec muscles, helping you in that instance so you can get to where you need to be in the foundation training. I can get behind that. All right, just gotta be really careful with it. This doesn't mean you can just skip your homework and rely on this shirt, because it's not gonna help you in the end. You might even get some relief right off the bat, but we still need to change the way we're walking and how we're approaching daily biomechanics. That's the best correction. Fixing daily motion with the little things we're doing. Okay, because the big things, or our tendency is to use our strong dominant muscles on it. Little things are the best change, and we don't think about the little things as much. It's the small little motions how we're walking, really being conscious of it, how we're picking things up. That can make the best change. And then you don't have to do a ton of stretching and all this stretching and support that we rely on. It's the same idea as like orthotics, you know. Yeah, orthotics can be very helpful, but if you rely on them, you don't actually change the way you're walking, you're not going to get where. You know, it's not the shoe, it's you. It's going back to that idea.